Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Dreamcast Homebrew. Today we're taking a look at Primitive Nightmare by Fuseki Games. This is basically just an old-style, arcade-style spaceship shooter, where the goal is basically just to collect a bunch of these falling white spaceships. Once you collect the designated amount of them, you progress to the next level, and you do the same thing on the next level, and basically just get as high a score as possible. So let's get right into the game here. One thing to note, there is a glitch at the beginning of the game where if you have anything plugged into the second, third, or fourth controller ports, none of the buttons will work. This is as soon as you turn on the game. If you have anything plugged into there, you can't do anything, starting right at the main menu. But anyway, I just thought I should mention that in case any of you might think the game is broken when you try and play it yourself, but that is a glitch. Anyway, let's get right into the game here. I just pause the game for a second here just so I can tell you what the icons on the screen are. I'm not sure what every single one of them are, but I'll explain what I do know. In the bottom right corner of the screen, way at the bottom next to the blue triangle, is the amount of lives you have left. As you can see, you start with 2. Right above that you have the green circle. There's a bar next to that that designates how much life you have left, and next to that blinking rectangle there is the amount of energy you have left on this magnet beam that you have. When you use the beam, it'll attract most of the things on the screen, including enemies, to it. Basically it'll line up on your beam. Over on the left side of the screen, at the top, next to the white circle, is the amount of spaceships you have to collect before you'll progress to the next level. Right below that is the red circle. Next to the red circle you have the amount of blasters that you have left. That's basically the amount of missiles. They're called blasters in this game. That's how many you have. You have a very limited amount, as you can see. So basically you just want to avoid most of the enemies. But you will get extra points if you do shoot them. But you kind of want to keep that until you actually need to use it. Maybe you're cornered. That's when you'd want to use it. And I'm not sure what the circle below the blasters is. Right below that says norm. I'm guessing that means normal difficulty, but I really don't know of any difficulty setting in the game, so I'm not really sure. But anyway, let's move on to the game here. The buttons, you press the A button to use your blaster. You press the X button, or sorry, the B button to use the magnet beam that I mentioned. As you can see, it attracts the enemies and the spaceships to your beam. So it makes them easier to collect that way when they're lined up. The red spaceships you have here actually add 5 blasters to your inventory. And certain things sometimes drop from the enemies, or actually they're called primitives in this game. Hence the name of the game, Primitive Nightmare. But once you shoot them, they'll sometimes drop things that give you extra points, or some other things. There are also other different colored spaceships that you can collect that'll add to your life or your shield. I really like the music in this game. It's actually very nice. It really matches the mood of the game, very fast-paced. As you can see there, I added 5 energy by collecting that green spaceship. Of course, I got hit right after, so but your energy is your life bar. And that added to my shield there by collecting that other color. And if you do hit that UFO that's going across the top of the screen there, you'll get a couple thousand points for hitting it, as you can see there. Actually, there's 1,500 that time, so I guess it varies. But I also added a bunch of blasters by killing them, so I guess it's kind of random what you get when you hit it. Similar to the other enemies, but I believe you get more points on average for hitting the UFO than the regular enemies. But as you can see, the screen gets a lot more crowded as you progress. Oh, I see. Okay, that on the bottom left there, the one I didn't know what it was, apparently that is not difficulty level. That would be speed. I believe I read in the instructions, if you look at the instructions at the beginning of the game, it says if you collect the purple spaceships, they will increase the speed of the enemies. So I assume that you do not want to collect those. Probably best to avoid them. Normally I'd try to spare the blasters, but there's a lot of stuff coming at me. Luckily I have a lot of blasters I've collected. But the game gets quite a bit more frantic later on in the levels, as some of the enemies will actually start shooting at you. And that didn't work out too well. But you still do advance to the next wave even if you die, but you don't get any bonus points. Apparently you get bonus points for surviving the level, and obviously you'll lose a life. Strangely, this level actually seems easier than the last one. Actually keep forgetting to use that magnet beam there. Actually, despite what I said earlier, it actually doesn't seem to attract any of the enemies. Only seems to attract the spaceships, which makes sense because you'd obviously want to attract those to you so you can collect them. Yeah, see, that worked quite well. So I was kind of stuck there. I was still able to get that spaceship. Of course, you have a very limited amount of energy for that magnet beam. Not even sure that's what you call the that beam, but that's what I'm calling it anyway. Alright, now as you can see, some of the enemies are actually shooting. It starts to get a little more difficult now. Hey, there we go. It says plasma beam ready. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's you press the Y button, and it actually uses that plasma beam and wipes out all the enemies on the screen. That's quite nice. Handy to have. You can actually upgrade your weapon as well. I'm not sure how you get that, but there is kind of a spread shot you get later on. I'm not sure if you earn it or if it just automatically, get it at a certain level. I'm not sure. But I'd probably guess it's something you collect. Really low on energy now. It says +1 to level up. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe that's the weapon upgrade, possibly. I'm not sure. 0 lives left. So far I've only made it up to level 17 in this game. Currently at level 13, or wave 13. I probably shouldn't have grabbed that. Just kind of automatic, I grab all the spaceships, but... Aha, that was terrible. That was a bad move. But anyway, that's the end of me. Anyway guys, this has been a first look at Primitive Nightmare by Fuseki Games. It's actually a very cool game. I really enjoy it. If you like this genre of game, it's definitely one to pick up. Or not pick up, but download anyway. And speaking of that, I will have a download link in the description. I was not able to find a version compatible with the SD adapter, so I had to actually use a disc version, which is the only link I'm going to have in the description. If anybody has a link to the SD card version, I will put it there. Just tell me about it. But anyway, thanks for watching guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and thanks for watching.